we're live on Instagram, and we are live on Deanne Fitzpatrick website, hookingrugs.com. That's me, Deanne. And we are live on YouTube, I think. So I'm gonna. So once a woman said to me, "Don't show that thing where you sew on the linen on the shetty cam frame," and I'm like, well, look, I only got so many tricks. Right? I'm thinking, why not? Every once in a while,
But
we need to be reminded.
We've had new cookers, right?
The thing is we always have new people joining, and
it, so.
I know, like, 400 new people joined our newsletter this month. So it's important, I think, to show the same things over and over again sometimes. So I am going to sew a pattern on the shetty cam frame, but I'm also going to show you the rugs that we finished here on the live, and I'm going to show you about hooking the inside of window panes, and Angie has dyed us some beautiful yarn, so I'm going to show you that today. I'm going to talk a lot about color school, design school, and design school 2, and the trifecta, as Angela named it, which was a hot hit last night. Got some orders for that, people buying all 3, because there are always new people coming on. So this is my shetty cam frame, and this is a yard of linen. So sometimes what I like to do is I'm going to make a bunch of small rugs on this frame over a period of time. Now, what I do is you want to make sure that your linen is cut straight, because if it's cut straight, then it's gonna sit on the frame better. So I don't fold it over when I have this salvage. This is called a salvage edge right here. I don't fold it over when I have that edge, because that's a really strong edge. So I'm just going to go in here, and I'm just going to hand sew it. And I'm using an upholstery thread. This is the thread that we usually sell. It's a Gutermann upholstery thread, and it is 100% polyester, and it's really, really strong, because you put a little torque on your frame, and people say, "Is your shetty cam frame wobbly?" Well, this is how wobbly it is before. I want to point this out. It's really wobbly before you put. This is the stabilizer. Sewing this on will stabilize it. So, I think I can bring this down a bit. Oh, it's almost coming out. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to sew this on today. And I'm just going to talk about the things we've been doing in the studio, because I have a very special new kit to show you today. And it's a collaboration that we've done with the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. So this kit will only be available at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia gift shop and at our studio. This is the only 2 places you can get them. So I'm going to show you that after. And it's a kind of a little tribute, a little story to it. Okay. So people say, is there any other way of using a shetty cam frame besides sewing it on? Because I don't like to sew, but like, I'm just showing you now how quickly it is to sew it on. And sometimes people do put gripper strips on them. I wouldn't. I think when you have this sewn on, it's so tight and so strong. It's just such a great.
And that's not really like, it's not like you have to know too much what you're doing. I could do that.
Thanks, Lorna. You could.
No, I'm just saying I could do that, because I have no talent. So,
you do have talent. You have all kinds of talents.
But I'm just saying, when it comes to craft things, so
yeah,
I could do that.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean,
yeah. Do you remember the time I tried to make the chocolate cake with the boiled icing for McCall's birthday? Were you at the birthday party? Ronnie was there. We laughed to kill ourselves.
I know once you tried to make it, you couldn't.
I couldn't. It all turned hard. So you definitely do have your own talents. Mine ended up being like a hard meringue. The kids ate it, like as much as they eat cake anyway. Not like the old days. Kids loved cake. I don't know if they love it anymore, do they?
Well, mine still like mine, but
yeah, for sure. Maybe there's a reason why they don't like mine. Maybe it's reasonable. All right. I was just telling Lorna and them I was dancing in the kitchen last night. I had one of those. I had a, what do you call those? Non-alcoholic, but it's the Mexican beer. What's that Mexican beer called? You know the one, Angela, the one they drink in Mexico. It's always in the stores.
Is it a Corona?
Corona. So I had a non-alcoholic Corona, and I was listening to music, and I was cooking this beautiful meal that I thought was going to be beautiful. But it was just mediocre, I'd say, if I could even call it that. It was just okay. I went to this restaurant, and they served me capers and artichoke and rosemary all fried into a pan, and it was just fresh rosemary. It was so gorgeous. And so I tried to recreate it last night. And do any of you guys ever do that? Do you ever try to create? That'll be our question for the day. And what kind of success have you had? You can tell the little story in the comments. I want to know, have you ever tried to recreate a recipe that you had in a restaurant? So I do this. And I do it sometimes to, mild success. Let's be clear. But last night it wasn't good. So now I'm turning it over to the other side, okay? So what I want to do, so that's our question for the day. We want to know, when you go to a restaurant and you have something really delicious, do you try to recreate it at home? What is it? Tell us what it is, and do you have luck? Now see, I go back and I measure, make sure it's even, and I come over here and start again on this side. And again, salvage edge, so I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, forgot to knot myself. Did I? Oh, there we go. Okay. And when I'm on the end, I'll go like 2 or 3 times. I don't have a big enough knot in that, so I'm going to give it an extra. There we go. Sometimes this happens. It gets tangled up in my gears. We just got a new batch of Shedicamp frames in from Luke, and they're beautiful. Beautifully made. And our Shedicamp frames are guaranteed. If you ever have an issue or a problem with them, we'll look after you. So Luke will look
is
after
like
them.
a well-known woodworker.
He
here.
is a well-known woodworker.
Yeah,
he builds kitchens.
Yeah, he does
beautiful,
beautiful
He
work.
does beautiful work. He built our, show them our little kitchen sink, maybe.
Yeah.
He built that for us too.
So
Nicer than the cupboards I have at home now,
Yeah.
probably. Anyway, so the Shedicamp frames, yes, when you get them, they're wobbly. That is true. And then you sew your yarn on. And the reason, there are 4 different pieces, and the 4 pieces are 4 separate pieces. So if you're not using it, you can just slip it under the bed. But we don't buy them to slip them under the bed. We buy them. I say they're like an engagement ring, right? You get a Shedicamp frame, you are committed to rug hooking, and you want to keep it out and use it. So I don't know what I'm going to hook next here. I have to decide. I might do some more black pots because we're making a kit out of the black pot and flowers, and we have that's going to be coming out very soon too, a new kit. I like bringing out new kits. It's kind of fun when we quietly sort of put away some old kits and bring out the new ones. All right. Shout out to Lynn Strom today. I got a message from Lynn, and she said that she got a message she went into a school and taught rug hooking. So like if you've got time on your hands and you don't know what to do about it, not to do with it, there's a lot of teachers out there who would love to have you join them and use rug hooking to teach, a lesson in history or a lesson in art. Could even be a lesson in English. I mean, there's a lot of educational value to the story of rug hooking. So Lynn Strom went into a classroom in Alberta and taught many students how to hook rugs. And she had a note from the teacher yesterday that said that even some of her students that she had the most challenge teaching have taken to it, and it just makes teaching them so much easier. I'll read you the message. It was quite sweet. I loved it. Just makes me happy. Overheard 2 students talking about wanting to buy their own materials and get together so they can hook rugs outside of class. I really can't thank you enough, Lynn, for donating your time and putting so much thought and care into coming into our classroom and teaching this art to the kids. They love it. Every time I have said we will be working on our rugs in this class, I have never seen my tougher students this excited. So thank you very much for teaching me and then coming to our classroom. It means so much. And Lynn just sent me a message to say that it's true that when you teach rug hooking, you never know what you're teaching. So, I mean, we always want to keep that message. I think that message is one we want to keep not only on our tongues, which I say it all the time, I know, but in our hearts. I think that's a real good place to keep that message, that when you give someone a hook and a piece of linen and a few strands of wool from your stash, you just never know where it's going to lead them. So thank you, Lynn, for sharing that with me today. Okay, now I've got this on. So the next thing I'm going to do, and it's tricky when you put on a piece of linen this large, you got to roll it. I like to roll it so that.
What's the smallest piece you can use?
So it has to be wide enough. It has to be whatever this is, 20 inches wide. It has to be able to reach from one piece of canvas to the other. Yeah. Okay.
But you could use like a half yard.
Yeah, right? Definitely. You could use a half yard, a quarter yard, and then it doesn't have to be this wide, right? It could be 10 inches wide, right, because you just use string. Okay, so there it is. Now what I usually do is,
what do you use string for?
I use string on the side. So if my linen only came to here, I want to tighten you want to tighten your rug on all four sides, so I'll use string. So if my linen was cut short, I'd use string and attach it to the cup hooks. But in this one, I think I have enough linen. So now I'm going to tighten it again from this side. And I like to bring it so that my salvage is down over just on the turn. And then, see, it's tight now. And it's still kind of wobbly, right? So I'm going to tighten it up again. So this is my second turn. Then I could either take string and tuck it in through here, but really I have enough room with my linen to pop it on here. So I'm just going to do that. Now over here, let's see if I have enough room here. So now it's tight like a drum and it's not wobbly. So that solves the wobble. It has some movement still. So let's go in here. Oh, well, first we should show this. So I went to the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia, and I'm going to read you this little story. When you live in Nova Scotia, you may know someone or someone's mother or grandmother who used to visit Maude Lewis in rural Digby County and buy her paintings on the side of the road for $5. It is an iconic story that grew out of her meteoric rise in the art world and the increased value in her work. It's a good story. I think, though, to focus on that story is to forget the real story of Maude Lewis. She was a woman who, when faced with difficulty and harshness, continued to see the beauty in the world around her. She painted the flowers, the birds, the oxen, the horses, the houses, and the people in her world with tenderness and love. When I look at Maude's work, I feel she must have had a deep well of kindness within her. And I believe, like many maritime women, she did the very best she could with what she had. And that, to me, is her real success. When I visited her house at the art gallery, this is what I saw. I saw that tenderness. I saw how she made the world around her beautiful. She made the world around her beautiful in any way she could. Along with the hooked mats on her floor, I saw this deep drive to paint and to make and to create beauty every day, and it moved me. The story of Maude Lewis and her little house is a love story about art and about creating. She showed up to paint in spite of everything, and she made the world a little more tender and more beautiful for all of us. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the inside of Maude's house, and she painted all around, she painted everything that she had. And there are the hooked mats on the floor. And when I saw that at the art gallery, I was just like, we've all heard the story of Maude Lewis, but when I saw that at the art gallery, I was just so moved suddenly. And I'd seen it before. I'd seen it 3 or 4 times before, but the last time I went, which was this fall, I just felt this, I don't know, I felt a connectedness with what she had done, that what she was doing was creating beauty every day. And so a couple of weeks, about a month and a half ago, I called the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia and I asked them if they would like a kit of her house, and I'd like to hook her house. So I hooked her house right here with her little birds and her tulips and her painted door, and she also painted the inside panes of her windowsill. And she had a white roof, And it's just so, I don't know, it's such a tender story. Some of you have probably seen the movie Maude or read books about Maude Lewis. And, and so we have this kit now that will be for sale at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia, and it is on our website now. And Maude Lewis lived from 1901 to 1970, and she's one of Canada's most beloved folk artists. She was born in Yarmouth County. She spent her entire life in the surrounding area. When she was a child, her mother encouraged her to paint Christmas cards depicting festive winter scenes, and she sold them door to door. Despite living with arthritis, her innate talent allowed her to paint vibrant scenes of rural maritime life. Lewis's house, which served as her main canvas, is on permanent display at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. So I encourage you, if you come to Nova Scotia, to go see that. And they have an exhibit of Maude's work. And if you feel connected to this story and you see that you too want to create beauty every day, you can get the kit from either the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia or from us. So I'm excited about that. And I am wanting to show you the rugs that we made last week. So here we go. So this rug was the Wild Daisies. And we had a kit of the Wild Daisies and then it inspired another Wild Daisy rug. And so that was one that we worked on here together. This one I'm not going to show you. That one I'm not going to show you. But I just did this last week. I know I said I'd finish the sky with you, but I changed my mind. Sorry. And I got so that I finished. Oh, but I found a little spot here where I didn't hook this, so I got to go get that purple. Norma didn't point that out to me. Usually she does. But I decided with the purple house and the green, some nice greens in the foreground, I'm just going to go get the purple. I'll be right back. We'll fix up that little hole. Oh dear, I'm having trouble finding it. Okay. That's odd.
So I hear you picked up a kit, Lorna.
I did.
Did you actually get it?
I haven't paid for it yet, but I have it downstairs.
Which one are you doing?
It was the kid of the month this month. I don't know what it's called, but it was so pretty.
So now that I've mentioned it, you're going to have to show it when
Yes,
you
I know, but I'm not going to do it till summertime.
I can't find that other purple, so I'll just use this one.
Did you know that, Deanne?
I heard that.
Lorna got a kit.
Yeah, the kid of the month for this month.
Last month, the one that the ones that
they're just receiving it now. The people in the club are just receiving it now. There we go. It's not the perfect shade, but it will do. So because I've patched it there a little bit, I'm just going to put a little patch in. I do like the dark on the inside of the windows. I'm happy with that.
And is Maude's kit like under new products on the website?
Yeah, it's under new products on the website, and it is under kits, and I think it's right on the front page of the website. And it's a kit. It has lots of our hand-dyeds in it, a lot of hand-dyed blue. Mostly all yarn, I think, in that kit.
This is really neat what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what I did?
I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, so because I had a patch of a color, I couldn't find that other purple, so I just moved it around a little bit, and then you just don't notice it quite so much. So it doesn't look like, oh, there's one place where she forgot that color. And I know that this yarn is here somewhere, but it could, well, I lose things. Like this morning, I have those little hand vacuums. I mean, they're big.
And you lost it?
I can't find it in the house. So that, I'm not going to spend 2 hours looking for that wool. There it is. There's another little side down there. I think I could put a bit more. So is everybody getting prepared for the Easter weekend? You're going to your son's.
I am.
And you brought a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the stuff to make kibbe on Sunday, which is like a Lebanese kind of the national dish. Okay. There we go. All done. Okay, now let's go hook. I'm going to take you into my space in here today, and I'm going to show you some yarns. So these when I was hooking lately, I've been hooking a lot of houses. So I've been thinking about window panes a lot. And I asked Angie if she could make us some colors and just call them like window pane. So this is window pane purple. This is window pane blue. And these are made with River Stream. This one is window pane gray, window pane green. I love this one. Window pane red and window pane yellow. So the idea of these colors is that they look perfect inside of window panes. And if you've looked at my Instagram, you can see some window panes that I've been hooking. Like, look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Can you guys close in on that? Because it is really beautiful. I love it. And that's window pane red. This is window pane yellow. Look at that. Now this could be window panes. It's got a little blue, a little purple, a little bit of everything in there. Now it can be used for window panes, but clearly this is probably going to be used by me in a landscape. I love this yarn. It's beautiful. And of course this yarn has a nice sheen because it is our River Stream. Here's window pane blue. And it has a bit of mauve and 3 or 4 different shades of blue and some cream. Window pane green. Now look at window pane green. We've got wine and purple and red and light blue in here. Really beautiful.
Must be kind of exciting for Angie when you come up with like a new challenge.
I think it is when I call her and say, I'm thinking of this. And she's like, oh, yeah. This is window pane purple. And I've got like dark green, like a muddy dark green. I've got an ochre. I've got a red. I've got a blue. This one, I'm going to use that. I'm going to show you what that hooks off like. And this is window pane gray. And so in this, we've got a touch of blue, like not very much, just a touch, and a touch of rose.
I bought this one. I
Tan.
love it.
Oh, is it? What are you going to do with it? Do you know?
I'm going to put it in my rug.
Going to put it in your rug that you're working on? Is your rug an octopus rug?
No.
No. What is it?
It's that kind of fish looking
Oh,
one.
right.
I got stuck.
You got a little stuck? It happens. This
No
morning I was going to
octopus.
stay home and hook until we did this. And then I thought, no, you know what? Like all weekend, we got a long weekend. So all weekend I can stay home and hook. But I think I just wanted to get in here this morning and see what was going on. Okay. Don't know where my hook is right now, but it doesn't matter. So I think I'm working on another one sort of that's kind of like one of my Between the Spaces series that I've been working on for a long time. I feel like these houses are just sort of my thing. So the good thing about a yarn like this is you can just sort of pick and choose what you want for inside of this. So I'm going to use this. I was going to do the same color inside the windows, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to just take a strand. That's someone calling to order some window pane yarns, I bet. There
Or
we
Maudie.
go. Or what? Or Maudie. Maybe someone coming to get Maudie. Yeah. Oh, look at that. And look how beautiful they hook up. So you get these different colors. Right? Just lovely. I love the cream. Like it's enough. The cream isn't rosy enough in there so that it's different. And now, so it's going right to gold, right? But then it's going to turn back to something else, maybe. Turn into rose. That is so pretty. So I think it's going to make this, it's just going to elevate this little black and white house to have this color in here. Now, oh goodness. Now that's not good. So we're going to have to glue that. Get my Gorilla Glue. I might as well do that live. Where is my Gorilla Glue? Where is my Gorilla Glue? I'm going to be right back. You guys, I'll be right back. I
like your haircut, Lorna.
Thank
It looks
So-
great.
you. Okay, that's good. the
So it happened right
Deanne
on
did
right
notice.
on the live. It happens every once in a while. One of our hooks. But if it ever happens to you and you want a new hook, don't worry, we'll send you one. It's I'm just going to get my Gorilla Glue though. Pop that in there. There we go. I'm just going to wipe off the edge, excuse me. And just leave it to dry overnight and it will be fine. Okay, you want to hear a story about a hook? Once I was hooking and I was at my house and I had these pot holders, right? And my pot holders at that time in my life were famous for being like having every supper on them that I'd had for 6 months. They weren't very clean. So my hook came out just like this. One of my little hooks that I was using, you know, I'd used it for years, came out just like this. So I'd gotten the glue and I stuck it back in and I took the pot holder and I was going like this, trying to stick it back in. Well, what happened was I pushed so hard that the hook got caught underneath. It went right up in my thumb and got caught underneath my skin. But I was like a shish kebab because it went through the pot holder and I had the pot holder between me and the hook like that. And I kept trying, I kept trying to get it out, right? And I couldn't get it out. And I thought, I'm going to have to go to outpatients. So I went to outpatients, little shish kebab Deanne, right? With this dirty, dirty pot holder. Like it was so embarrassing. That was the last dirty pot holder that was ever in my house. It was so embarrassing. And the doctor had to freeze my thumb. And there was this lovely doctor and he was from another country. And he said, is this sort of like something from your culture? So I explained about rug hooking to him, what I was doing. And then I had a cut in my thumb. So if that ever happens to you, just do not use, first of all, do not use a dirty pot holder to push it back in. Just use, that's easy. It's an easy fix. There we go. It's an easy fix. Gorilla Glue. But I use Gorilla and Lepages. They're my favorite glues. Alrighty. Back again with the hook. All right. But not that hook. I'm letting that dry overnight. Okay. I never know whose voices I'm hearing here. Do you? Sometimes when I'm in here, like upstairs, I can hear, I don't know, their voices from upstairs or they're from Mansource. But in an old building, you would think the walls would be thick and heavy. But
I know.
I can hear things. Nothing. I can't hear what they're saying, but
I get a kick out of Igor every time I go in the basement.
yeah.
He's just talking.
Talking to Jana?
I don't know. He's in the corner and he just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, he told me that a long time ago, that he's very talkative. We sent Igor's mother the kit. I just checked. I just asked Igor. He told me he's blah, blah, blah. That's what he told me. Yeah, he told me he's naturally very talkative, but because he doesn't have a lot of English, he doesn't talk as much. But yeah. So he is talking away. That's good.
Well, this morning he asked me, he was trying to find about soda. And I thought he meant like
Pop. Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so I'm like, Coke, and he's like, yeah. And anyway, finally he put it in the translator. He's looking for baking soda.
Oh, baking soda. Yeah.
His mouth was sore, and I said, oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
I said, here's some salt.
Yeah, that
I said,
works.
put salt in the water. I
Yeah.
said, that's what we would use.
Yeah. But baking
Anyway.
soda works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we hadn't had baking soda. I had salt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I said, don't swallow it.
No. Okay, look how pretty these windows look. Now, I think that takes this rug to a new place. Like, I think it kind of just makes it so pretty.
Carol said it's like a party going on.
It's like a little party going on inside that house, you know? And really before, it's so different. Like what you do inside the windows matters. So let's just talk about that for a second. Because when we look at this house, I'm just going to run and grab the other house with the dark windows. And I like them both, mind you. So I don't I'm not saying one should exclude the other. So, but let's just talk about it for a second. Oh, there's my hook. I lost a strand. So there's that house, and there's this house, and they have a very different feeling, because of the difference in the windows. I like them both, but this is more about solitude, and this is like, what's going on in there? That's me dancing last night in the kitchen. Anyway, that's it for this week, folks. I don't know. We're probably there, are we? So we'll talk about what the
What do you call it?
Oh, our trifecta.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just give you a quick review today. We talked about the window pane colors, Angie's window pane colors. We talked about the importance of stabilizing your Steadicam frame by attaching it on the sides and hooking it on, and how you can hook on a big piece and you can make many small rugs. That I love. We talked about Maude Lewis and the beauty of her life and what she gave to all of us with those paintings. We've all can see the world through her eyes a little bit more and see the beauty of simplicity. And we talked about the new kit that is available at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia gift shop and at Deanne Fitzpatrick studio. And the gallery gift shop hasn't got theirs in yet, but they'll be there any day now. So if you're in Halifax, you can go pick one up. Probably be in the next couple of weeks, I would say. And we talked about the importance of when you're sewing on the Steadicam frame, the importance of the upholstery thread, because that makes a difference. And you got because the thread is strong, you got room to give it a little torque. We talked about color school, design school, and color school, design school, and design school level 3, that you can buy them individually, and they are all on now. We open them once a year for 7 days. That's our plan. So they're open now for 7 days. You can join any one of them now, and those courses are excellent courses. If you want to learn how to design hooked rugs, how to that's design school level 1. If you want to learn about style and creativity and putting together shows, that's design school level 2, working on themes. And color school talks a lot about we have wool dyeing in there, but we talk about understanding color, and it's a whole new approach. It's not about color theory. It's really, I'm sharing with you my approach to color, which is, I think, a lot less theoretical and a lot more about a creative approach to using color in your work. And then we talked about, dear Angie, when are you coming back on our lives? You have to come back soon. You did such a good job. Everybody loved it when you were here. Tell me when you want to come on. This is our window pane gray. These are all under new products. This is our window pane green, window pane blue. This is never leaving here. Window pane yellow and window pane red. They belong with me. And this was window pane purple. And we finished with the rug that we did last week. And that's our review. So thank you very much. Blessings this Easter weekend to all of you. And let's remember to share the good things that we have. And one of those things is rug hooking, but we all have a lot to share. And just get out there and share whatever it is you got. Make sure that your gifts are given. See ya. Happy Easter. Bless you all. God bless. See ya.